What's really different about cybersecurity from information security? Isn't this what we've been doing for the last 10, 15 years?
I mean, I think that what we have is a situation today where we have tremendous interconnectedness among all of the devices that enable us to use technology to conduct business transaction or to connect with our customers or our clients. And so when we talk about cybersecurity, it's much more than just thinking about the information itself. It's really thinking about the security of the business process and the connection among business all around the world and business partners, again, and customers inside various regions around the world.
And I would think, as you think about some of the markets that we serve, Chris, in the financial services industry, the payments industry and kind of the ecosystem of from the time I swipe my credit card, at a retailer until that ultimately gets settled at one of the banks, goes through a lot of that ecosystem. So
yeah, that's right. I mean, I think, Joe, it's really kind of the evolution of information security in the new kind of landscape that Dave mentioned, but also if you look at the different threats that exist in the environment today, from different threat actors to the different ways money, to your point, starts moving around the environments. Cybersecurity really is just the evolution, I think, of information security with a singular lens more focused on the advanced threat actors today and the really the interconnectedness of business from front to back.
I guess I want to spend some time on a term you used, threat actors.
Yep.
What do you mean by that term, and what are some of the threat actors that we're seeing today in the industry?
I think threat actors really are kind of three main groups right now. You have kind of the nation state actors, you have kind of organized crime, and you have the hacktivist community. And I think they each have distinct kind of flavors in terms of what their targets are, what they're hoping to accomplish, and thus they have very distinct methods in terms of how they go about executing the different attacks.
Yeah, and I think that the financial services industry in particular has always been in the bullseye, has always been a target from all the threat actor groups. Mm-hmm. And so historically there's been a focus on protecting payment card information, other kinds of sensitive data. And those are the types of data breaches that are publicly reported. And that's important. But what's, I think, more concerning, and what our clients are telling us and what we're helping our clients solve, are even what I would call more extreme risks that relate to operating in this globally interconnected ecosystem, which is we have nation-state actors and various other threat actors that are after very sensitive types of information that sit inside our financial services client.
Dave and I worked a case back in 2008 where we saw a particular organization withdraw about $8 million in cash over a period of about 24 hours through ATMs globally. That same group last February extracted about $40 million of cash in 8 hours globally. So, they're getting more efficient, they're getting better at what they're doing and how they're executing these attacks. So, they're evolving, which means our clients have to evolve along with them.
Absolutely. So, as I think about this issue then, if I'm a business executive that's not real comfortable with technology and maybe, haven't grown up, building websites and thinking about our infrastructure, what are the types of questions I should be asking my technology people?
I think, one, you need to approach this from a big risk perspective, right? It's not a technology issue, it's not an operational issue, it's really a risk issue for these organizations, especially the large financial services clients. And we're really starting to see them treat it more as a risk issue where, you're asking about how are you measuring the risk, how are you thinking about remediating the risk, how are you, reporting the risk up to the board, so the board and executive management has comfort that you're aware of what's going on and you're taking action to protect the organization against it.
But there's a maturity factor as well. I mean, so we see certain large, multinational, sophisticated entities that spend hundreds of millions of dollars a year on this space, and they're able to achieve a higher, really a strategic level of security. Not everyone is at that level, so I think it's important to really figure out strategically, where do you want to be? Where are you now? Where do you want to be? And how long is it going to take to achieve a more of a strategic advantage?
I think what we're really talking about here tactically as well is really getting predictive. Right, so much of security over the last 15 or 20 years has been a reactive. You're reacting to the threats, you're reacting to the regulators. Now we're really talking about gaining some predictive capabilities where you can start to analyze the data and say, a week from now we're going to expect this type of attack to occur against these types of systems, and that will really allow an organization to then model their defenses against those predictive threats and really gain a huge advantage in the market.
Well, we've talked a lot today, and in some cases you guys have maybe scared me a little bit. So I feel like we're maybe fighting a losing battle. So any words of advice or words of wisdom for, is this a losing battle? And what are the 2 or 3 most important takeaways for our clients?
I don't think it's a losing battle. I think what we're dealing with is just the reality of the business environment in which we operate. And again, it's the environment that our clients and we will operate in for the foreseeable future. So the way to adapt is to become smart, to be aware of the threats, understand the assets of value inside an organization, and really develop a new strategy to protect those assets in different ways. It means allocating resources differently to protect that which matters most.